Hello, everybody. This is Fat Chicago
And Terl.
with the Super Clancy Bros, and man, we got a great treat for you guys today. We're
Yes, we
playing
do.
probably one of the best games ever made.
Yep.
Master of Magic.
100% agree.
Terl is in the hot seat on this game. He's a kind of a Master of Magic expert.
Yeah.
But kind of a background on this game. We got it when we had. It was a leading edge computer. Our very first computer in the 80s. Our aunt gave it to us for Christmas one year.
Is that true?
That is true.
Oh, Masters of Magic. I thought you meant the computer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
we're on
Dad
the
got
same
us the
page.
computer.
Okay.
Our aunt got this Master of Magic. Would not work at all. Like, no.
Nope.
Would not work at all. Couldn't
do it.
install, not enough. It was not enough RAM, I think it was, or something.
think so.
We had no idea what the hell that meant at the time. So we begged, pleaded, and finally got a new computer. Still wouldn't work very right until we upgraded it, I think. And then we finally got it so it would play. Never had any sound to it. Up until
it's sad. As our viewers can see, we did not get to, until way later, hear the wonderful compositions of the Fat Man.
Yeah, the Fat Man. I mean, he's such a great composer, and you can tell right now there is no music because the Fat Man is not a very good musician.
I don't know that that's fair. He did the best he could with what he had. However, it's a little rough, guys.
It's a little rough. The other thing is it's so damn loud you can't adjust the sound, and so you can't hear our awesome commentary. So we X that, but it does have sound effects, so that's good. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Terl. Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, guys, I'm going to be playing this, and if you remember in our first series that we're doing, A Link to the Past Randomized, we made a Clancy Brothers promise to you that the least qualified person would be doing the playing. In this case, both of us are pretty much experts at this game because we've had it for so long, but we do have different play styles. So we're going to do this one a little bit differently. First, I'm going to go through and play a campaign, and then Fat Chicago is going to go through and play a campaign. So you'll get to see kind of a larger cross-section of what this game has to offer. Because I will show you guys how I play, and you're going to be amazed. So we're going to go to new game. Let's see. We definitely want to do intro.
Oh yeah, sure. No,
Like
get that
hell,
shit
we're
out
no.
of there. Get
We're
that
gonna go
shit
to.
out of there.
I'm gonna make it impossible.
Yeah.
Why not? It needs to be impossible. Land size I like large. Let's have 4, which is the maximum number of opponents. And magic should be powerful,
That
right?
should be power. It's Master
of Magic, right?
I always called it Masters of Magic. But
It's not like chump of magic.
get that weak sauce out of here.
Yeah, powerful. Okay. So, to make this a little more fun for me, a long time ago I started doing something, because here are all of the wizards that you can play. They give you a portrait, their name. Down here is the type of magic that they use, which we'll get into a little bit differently, and here's any attribute. I like to do a custom. And to have a little more heart in this game, you guys might not realize this about me, but I'm kind of a nerd.
Yeah.
And so I do my own thing. There is the all-time greatest anime of all time, anywhere, ever, is a little anime called Hokuto Shinken, or in the U.S., Fist of the North Star. And it's about a martial artist who is very much a carbon copy of Bruce Lee, killing people by hitting them and then their bodies explode.
Yeah, I think I remember.
So I related back to this, and so you'll see one of the main characters in this game, in that anime, is his girlfriend, Yulia. Is it all okay? So we're gonna go with Lady Yuria for the Japanese version, and then I'm a life guy. So here's where you can pick your different types of magic, and each one has different attributes, different play styles. And then up here are some attributes that you can get, and if you right click on any of them, it gives you more information about those. Fat Chicago has his own way of doing it. I'm a lifer. I go all life. All life, and you guys will see it. Now this one, you get to pick, if you do all of one, you get to pick 2 uncommon spells from that and 1 rare. So for mine, I'm going to pick True Sight, which endows the unit with a gift of immunity to illusions and allows the unit to see through Wall of Darkness, which will become important in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked that one, and then I picked Prayer, which says adds 1 rolls by all friendly units, including resistance, attacks they hit, and defense. This is a cheater spell that basically makes me win, so I picked that one. And then right here, I pick Incarnation, and basically I've won the game. Okay, it's your turn, Fat Chicago. I'm just kidding. Summons Torn the Chosen to aid in your cause. There is only 1 chosen for each wizard. If he is killed or disbanded and summoned again, he retains all experience from his previous incarnations, which is ridiculous. He's very powerful.
I've never used him. I always did something totally different. You'll see it when I get into it.
Just wait. You're in for a treat. So we get High Elf.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of these people has each one of these races has their own special, unique attributes,
mm-hmm.
And things that they can build, which we'll go into more in a second. I always go with High Elf because it adds more magic. I get more magic, and it's all about magic for me.
Gotcha.
The other thing where you see Mirren, we'll get a little bit more into this when we get into the play style, but there's basically, this is like it's a strategy game, turn-based strategy game with a large overworld, and you've got armies and towns. There are actually 2 planes, and that is something that if we wanted to start on the other plane, most everybody starts on one plane.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start on the other plane, you have to pick it. But when you're picking your magic and everything, however many picks you have affects... if you pick 4 books, you can do a lot more attributes than if you do all of one book. So I do not have that as an option. I go with High Elf, and I played with all of these. Let's see, her eyes are blue, so we'll match Lady Uriel's eyes.
Very fashion conscious right there.
There we go. So we're going to go to Southern Cross because that's where this one is going to start. This is a place in the anime. And I have to abbreviate it. So, here we go.
Here we go.
This is our play area. And what it is covered now, all this black is what is known as the Fog of War.
It's pretty standard for strategy games. So
yes, indeed.
This is a lot like if you ever played Civilization or...
Command and Conquer.
Not so much Command and Conquer.
That's a real-time strategy.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of the other one that used to be... Ages of Empires is another good one. I play the crap out of that.
So this is like a computer game version of Risk with a fantasy flair to it. It's pretty great. So as we start exploring, we'll see more, and we'll find other people. So for now, my big priorities right now is I've got to get my magic up. So I need all of this. So every turn, I'm generating 13 mana, and I'll go over kind of what generates mana, and I can do that. This screen lets me put that into one of 3 areas: either just mana pieces, which gives you mana pieces are kind of like what you consider in a typical fantasy game of mana. It's your pool of magic that you can use to cast spells. Each spell has a mana piece cost. Research, we learn spells, and how fast you learn spells depends on how much mana focusing you put into research. And then skill is kind of like how many spells you can cast each turn, either in battle or on the overworld. Right now, all I care about is getting mana pieces, so I'm throwing all of mine into that. And I want to win the game, so I'm going to go ahead and just win the game. So I've done that. So the game has been won. And I need to start boosting my population, because the reason I picked High Elves is that they actually produce mana, which is what this is on your resources. They actually produce it. No other race does. At least I don't think any of the, for lack of a better term, light world races do. The other plane, there may be like a night elf that does. So the more population you have, the more mana they're producing for you. So I start with that. So to boost my population, I want to build a granary, which, a granary serves as a storehouse for city's food. It adds 2 food and 20 people per turn. So, as you can see here, my population currently is 4,000. And every turn, which represents an in-game year, I will get an additional 40 people.
Represents. I didn't know it represented a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So it represents a year, and if you go over here to info and go to historian, see, we start in the year 1400, and every time we hit next turn, it advances a year.
Oh. I never knew that.
Yeah, you learn something new every day in this game. This game is very deep, but I have cheesed it pretty badly, as you will see. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to reveal more of the map.
Yep.
This is very risky on impossible, and I may lose the game.
Really?
I may lose because people in impossible difficulty are a lot more
aggressive.
And so my thing is I leave my city unprotected because I need to know what's around me.
Yeah.
I need to know who I'm going to conquer first because my thing is conquering and building up big cities. So I can boost populations. So after your first year, you get the chance to research spells. As you can see, I am putting
It takes 1,000 years to get any of these things.
So, and it will always take because I am not doing any researching right now at all. But that will change, and I'll show you how. We'll get to that in a minute. I don't. How much time? We're at 11 minutes.
We're still good.
We're still good. So I'm going to choose a spell to research. So these different buildings give different attributes as well. So right now I don't have any production into research. But if I were to build a library, once that's completed, it'll put 2 points towards spell research each time without me having to take it from the mana that's being generated.
Yeah.
If there are many buildings like this unlocks a Sage's Guild. A Sage's Guild gives you 3. So if you have 20 cities laid out and you've got a shrine, a library in each one of them, then you've already got 40 points of research right there. So that's how we kind of get around putting all of our magic into Mana Piece Gathering.
All right.
So let's get on with the game. Now, I'm going to just basically spend the next turns revealing more of the map and waiting for my chosen to be born. And this is actually a pretty good... so far, this is a pretty good layout. You want a defensible place. This way, I don't have to worry about people coming from behind me for the most part. Yes, people can come from the sea, but it's much more likely that they're just gonna send people by land.
Especially early game.
And seeing things like this is very good too, because I'm gonna eat those up. Some of them in the lower difficulties usually don't have anything in them. Most of them are going to have...
That was the game.
That was the game.
That was the game.
Okay. I got confused there for a second. So, like I said, we've turned off the music, but we do have sound effects. In lower difficulties, a lot of these are empty, and PC-controlled opponents will not attack them until they have a good army, so you can just usually get 1 or 2 scouts to get you 50 gold, 60 mana pieces early game. But I'm guessing in the impossible, I am not going to see a whole lot of empty things.
Probably not.
Ooh. No. I also am taking note. I'm doing this also to scout, and it will tell you what the strongest monster is. It doesn't mean that it's just zombies in there. That's just what the strongest one is.
So that keeps playing when you have that screen up.
Yes, I have noticed that, and it's quite loud. Let's see what's in here. I already looked at that one. Okay,
so
yeah,
granary.
Finish my granary. So now you can see that my population has started to build faster, and each thousand people is when your population goes up.
And you get more workers or farmers or protesters or whatever.
Right. So my next thing that I'm going to get is a marketplace because it boosts my money and it unlocks the farmer's market. And when you get the farmer's market, that really starts boosting your population production.
That's usually one of the first things I get.
So I'm just going to continue to explore, wait for my Superman to be born, created of magic. He is coming, and it's going to be bad for everybody who is not me when he gets here. Let's see. So just continue to explore. This part, early game, is not quite as interesting. So we are going to go ahead and pause here because we're at about 15 minutes. And I'm going to save this. And when we come back, we will continue.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you.